Hello, Spinner Snakeo here with another figure review. Today we have got playing on your YouTube, Marvel Select, Thanos. Man, what can I say about this figure? I've had this figure for donkey's years. And I mean that quite literally. I've had this figure for freaking ever. I got it new when it first came out. And it's been stuck in a cupboard for pretty much all that time. I've barely touched this. It's got a bit of paint rub, unfortunately, for some of my other figures. Bit here, bit there, bit there. And unfortunately, Lady Death has been lost to the sands of time. So that's a slight bummer. But I'll show you what I've got about the actual overall figure. And I figured I'd go for this one next in my Marvel Select reviews, because it was suggested to me that I do this figure next by Hulk Smash Productions 1, and he suggested basically I should go for this because the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie just come out. This should be a great figure to kind of go in sync with that, and I've got to say it's a good idea, so I've gone along with this. Because for those of you who are not aware, slight spoiler ahead, Thanos makes a kind of cameo appearance in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and you actually get to see a lot more of him than you do apart from the sneaky peek at the end of Avengers. I was trying to think which film it was. He looks similar to this, but he doesn't look exactly the same. And I got to say, I do like what they've done with the character. They've kept it very comic-esque, but a bit more alien-esque, if that makes sense. Because like old characters from the comics, they basically all wear spandex. With a few bits here and there, and spandex went out of fashion like in the early 80s, 90s. Not joking. But anyway, onto this figure. Man, this is an awesome figure. Very big and bulky figure as well. He stands roughly the same height as a Hulk that came out in like the Hulk Classics wave. I don't actually have any of them to hand. For a size comparison, he stands just about 8.5 inches, just a little bit under 8.5 inches. For usual suspects, Bucky Cap, Superior Spider-Man, Spider-Girl, Hyperion, 2-pack Hulk, or Build-A-Figure Red Hulk, and then my latest Marvel Select figure, Hulk. Had to cut off the toes just to get this guy in. He's going to be fun to review. Now, as you can see, Thanos here comes with a spare hand. It is the Infinity Gauntlet, and it's actually really well detailed. We'll go over that in a sec. He also comes with, like I said at the start of the video, a Lady Death, which was basically a statue of Lady Death. I'll put one here. And she has a removable face, which shows a skull underneath. It was quite a cool statue. I'm sorry that I've unfortunately lost that due to sands of time. Quick zoom in on the gauntlet. This thing is really well detailed. The ruffles in the actual glove itself is really, really cool. The lines going around his fingers also really cool. And the gemstones look absolutely amazing. For such an old figure, it's actually really well sculpted. Lovely use of the gold paint there. And the hands and the boots do look really, really nice. Now, it is interchangeable, but I've got to say it is a pain in the bum. And I'll try my best to do it on camera, but it is a really, really big peg, and it is quite hard to get out. While zoomed in, we'll have a close-up on those details. As you can see, Thanos is sporting a lovely grimace face. That's all menacing. Nice paint throughout the actual jaw itself, with those kind of classic alien jaw lines. I don't know why they kind of do the same thing for Skrull and Thanos. These jaw lines, they look very weird. But it's got this like flush kind of paint going to his face, where his eyes are a bit red, then it goes down to a purple. That I think is a bit much. I could have kept purple. But his crowny kind of hood thing is very, very well detailed. Nice shading throughout. And this was really well painted. Unfortunately, mine, like I said, is a bit got some paint bleeds from other figures. It's a bit wonky though. If you can see, kind of doesn't really line up perfectly. Front's okay, just the back. There's a bit of an air pocket there, but nothing really I could do to change it. Great detail on the sculpt and the muscles. These are really, really ripped muscles. This is a hard plastic, so it's actually sculpted into the same as torso. I thought the arms look a bit weird. They're kind of like a flat ball, and they've got this bit of muscle kind of on top. And I thought that looked a bit weird, but it does help with the articulation. Biceps just huge. This guy is absolutely massive in bulk. And then his little skirt things are very soft rubber, which is really well painted. Again, unfortunately, I've got some paint bleed from old figures from being stored so long. And then some golds there. Nice paint apps in the actual details. It's really well highlighted. And his boots really well sculpted with the wrinkles. And some peg holes there. And then you got the classic TM and 2005 Marvel Made in China Toy Biz. 2005, crikey. Has it really been that long? Back of the skirt and back of the legs. All in all, an absolutely amazing figure. And these fists look really epic. They're massive. Right, let's see the thing I'm dreading. I'm going to attempt to take this off on camera. Ow! As you can see, it's a massive peg and it really grips these very nice. So that's good. But it does just peg off like that. And then you put the other one on. Like that. They go on fairly easy, but just coming off. And this is a lot harder to come off than this for some reason. But then you can have him sporting the Infinity Gauntlet, which is like I normally have him holding pose like that. As I've pulled this guy out, and since I've started collecting Marvel Selects, I've pulled this guy out of storage and I've posed him holding like that. Just think it looks cool. Or maybe sometimes like that. Really is a towering menace of a character. Absolutely awesome. So for articulation, the head is on a hinge and it can go back that far, maybe a bit further, slightly hindered by this rubber here, and it can go down that far. No real pivot or anything in that like that, and you can rotate it around 360 degrees. Now if you look at the angle of the peg, it's kind of going up like that, so it's a bit car when you turn when you want him to look to the side. But you can rotate it around 360 degrees. Shoulders are on ball hinges, they can go around. Now this is a soft rubber, but it is a bit thick, so you are going to have to work with it and go out like that. But you can rotate around 360 degrees. You can go out that far, and then you can rotate out the bicep 360 degrees, and then a single bend in the elbow. Not quite 90, but it's pretty decent for a bulky character. And as you saw, a glove cut. And that's it. Same on the other side. Nothing in the torso, nothing in the abdomen, but he does have a waist cut of 360 degrees. And then he has T-cut hips, which is very cool. So he has a Spartan kick. Do you know what? Let's change that. He has a Titan kick of that. And then a split kick of that. You could go further, but the skirt is hindering it. If you move that out of the way, I reckon you could do full flat splits. Up thigh rotation 360 degrees. The angle of the peg is slightly, I don't know, it's a bit like kind of like that almost, I think, because rotating it around, that's the peg still straight down. So I'm not sure. It's actually pretty more like that rather. Anyway, moving on. Single bend in the knee, just under 90 I'd say. No boot cut whatsoever. And he has ankle point from there to there. No ankle pivot. But he's very good at standing on himself. I might give this guy a bit of a clean. I'm really starting to dig this guy. He looks awesome. But you can get this guy into some really decent poses. Overall opinion on this figure, absolutely awesome. So glad I picked it up years ago. My gripe with it is, unfortunately, my own fault, is he has bleeds of other figures on him, and I need to get that off now. I want this guy back in his classic look, so I'm going to give him a good old clean and see what I can do. But actual gripe with the figure itself, I think the only real thing that looks a bit ugly to me is the shoulder ball joints. They look a bit flat, and then a bit of muscle just kind of slapped on top. But they're quite well hidden by his collar thing, and the size of his biceps hides him very well, so it's not that noticeable. But for a 9-year-old figure, you can't really complain. Marvel Select did a really decent job with this guy. Now a lot of you are going to be surprised to think, hang about, you've had a figure for 9 years and you haven't modded it at all. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised at myself. I think my intent was to turn him into an Ultimate Thanos, but just never got around to it. But all in all, really do love this figure, and I would recommend picking him up. If you can see him going for a reasonable price, definitely pick him up. I honestly couldn't tell you how much he's worth now. Like I said, I've had this thing for 9 years, so that can't be right. 9 years? That's crazy. Wow. Anyway guys, that is my review. If you have enjoyed this video, please drop me a like down below. Please subscribe and leave any comments that you'd like to add about this figure or anything else. And as per usual guys, you know the routine, I'll be catching you in my next one. Bye bye.